Good evening and welcome to FTB Sport. I am here wearing my 1966 shirt with my Jeff Hurst number on the back. No, I didn't get it at the ground. No, I didn't buy it originally. I think it's a repro. I'm really pretty positive about that. I was born, but only just. And I don't really know anything about it. But if you like the show, please share us, highlight us on Twitter, join your friends in. We should be able to pick up fans from here, there, everywhere. But an interesting game tomorrow night. It might on paper look straightforward. However, you've got to look back to history. Look what happened. I know this is a ridiculous thing to say. When Edward the whatever he was, king, thought he was going to nail the Scots at Bannockburn, and look what the bloody hell happened there. That's what I say. Think about those years ago when Scotland beat England at Wembley and the fans sat on the crossbar and smashed it all up. It's those weird derby ones, a bit like, it's in some of the glory days of United. Then City would occasionally just knee them in the Rolex occasionally, even though they were rubbish, and beat them. These shit happens. So, welcome Brezzy, welcome Canners. First of all, fellas, start Canners. Did you see the first England game? What do you think were the good bits and what worried you?
Yes, I did. Answer to your first question. Did I see the game? Good bits. Well, first and foremost, we didn't lose. I guess the first game of any tournament, is if you get a win in the first game of a tournament, it's a good thing, and it's positive. Then you can build on that. You've got something then to build on as a foundation. Yes, there are things that we could work on, but also as well, we found out we got a player, i.e. Calvin Phillips, that can actually do a job. Him and Declan Rice look look like quite a good double pivot there. I believe in the midfield. I just think that there's a little bit that needs to happen up top. I accept it was a hot day, exceptionally hot day on Sunday. However, we will be playing against teams that have that little bit more movement. I think this Croatian team that we played is aging. You could see it in their legs. I mean, you got the guys at the back. Is it Vidra? Is it? Yeah. He's getting on a bit. Then you got Modric in the midfield. As good as he is, he's getting on a bit, and I just think your Calvin Phillips and Rice were too hungry, and they're too much for him. The goal, good goal, and I think we look solid at the back. Tyrone Mings looked good, and I think he looked really strong, and that can only bode well. Does Maguire get back in the team? Don't know. The thing is, I wouldn't want to. Oh, sorry.
Losing you on the reception.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I wouldn't want the team change for Scotland, but I think there's a lot of positives.
I totally agree.
And it's just about gelling. Just about gelling. Let them gel.
Yeah, it's really hard for an England manager when he's never had that team together. I feel you've got to try to now keep that 11 together, and I'm not sure there's a way back necessarily certainly for Henson, and maybe for Maguire. I think certainly in the group stages we shouldn't tinker with it. Whether we're in the last 16, we need a little bit more nous. Maybe a little naivety in between Rice and Phillips slips in, and they feel they need a bit more kind of Henson experience. The same with Maguire. I'm not sure, but you're right. I mean, let's gel that 11 together as we get through the group stages, because that's quite difficult. He's almost a bit of a politician, Southgate, or he could find his way in business strategy, because he's almost thought, well, hang on, I can't lose the first game. What do we do to make sure? And playing two holding midfielders was quite a mature decision, really. Anyway, Rezi, what do you think?
Yes, I watched the first game, and glad we got the win. It's the first win in the European competition for forever, so it's always good. to get the first game on the way, and it's just then set momentum for the rest of the season. I think the double pivot worked very well. I don't want to change the team. I think that team should be set. I think we need to work within that team. We've got a lot of young players in there, also with great potential. So the team, should stay as it is. But I do think we will beat Scotland. It might be a 2-1, but I can see us definitely winning.
Okay. And it's actually, which kind of leads us on to the next one is, did you watch the Scotland games? And maybe stay with you, Bretty. Particularly, you might want to almost start at left back and think, how much did they miss Tierney? It was an excruciatingly hot day when Scotland had to play, and bloody hell, the opposition scored 2 worldies. What did you think? Were they unlucky, or were they just a bit ordinary and not without a killer touch?
I didn't watch the Scotland game because I was at work, but I did watch the highlights. And I just thought the 2 goals that they scored were fantastic. And the second goal, to see that range, then that eye for goal was absolutely superb. I just think they outplayed Scotland. If I'm honest, I just think they bullied them a little bit too much. I mean, Tierney, obviously is a fantastic player down that wing, but obviously one player shouldn't make a team.
I disagree with you, Fraser. I don't know what highlights was showing, but I don't think Scotland were outplayed at all. I actually think they had chances. They didn't put them away, to be honest. They had a lot of chances, hit the bar. And they had a guy up front. I can't remember his name, but he couldn't. They really started doing when Che Adams come on.
Interesting.
Woodson
says England will win 2-0. I hope I got the pronunciation right there. Interesting. I was looking at the picture there because Athelstan was a very famous old medieval king of England. I'm sure the spelling is different, but and Edward, obviously, a very famous old England king. So Athelstan Edwardson, unless that's a made-up name, but it's a great name. And actually, we've got
royalty watching us.
Yeah, a whole series of famous old England kings wrapped up in that title. Well, good on you, sir. And another little comment coming in from Scotland should have beaten the Czechs. Really, missed chances, woeful defending. Their backs are broken now. I think it's an interesting comment. When I see the Scotland team and when I watch the Scotland team, it's just they're probably 2 really class players short of a player. Obviously they're depending on Robertson. They're depending on Tierney when they can. They're depending on what's his face, the United player McTominay, who he's not a world class player. He tries desperately hard.
Do you know what I see this game as basically?
I understand why Che Adams didn't start, but there you go.
Yeah, I see Scotland. I don't know if you can liken them to the Premiership, a kind of a Southampton
Palace.
yeah, something like that. So on Friday it's like a Chelsea versus Southampton game. They got the guy from Villa in midfield. He's decent as well.
McCann.
Yes,
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
Listen, they shouldn't have lost. They shouldn't have lost.
It is good. I compare them for Wales, and Wales are looking quite good for the last 16. I haven't seen the second half result yet against Italy, Switzerland, because Italy were 1 up at half time. The Welsh could do with Italy putting in another couple of goals in the second half just to push, because it will be settled on goal difference probably, because I can't see Wales getting any points against Italy. But it's similar. Wales they've only got 3 or 4, maybe 5 class players, and the rest, like Scotland, are a bit journeymanish, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually, it's going to be a tough game on Friday. All right, it's simple. And the thing is, what we need to do is just make sure that we win our battles. Yeah. And then once we do that, because at first it's going to be like a Premiership game. A lot of the players from both teams obviously playing the Premiership, and it's gonna come down to that. So you win your battles, and then after that, the technical. Obviously we've got the technical far. I won't say far, but we've got the better quality of players, and that should shine through.
So
Scotland won't score.
I've got
Scotland won't
great
score.
clarification here from Athelstan Edwardson. Nope, not made up. King Edward the Elder was Athelstan's dad, and King Alfred his granddad. This is
Damn.
awesome stuff. This is such British heritage. And he's
Every day's a school day.
Sorry, I'm so distracted by this history of
No,
England.
no, I'm saying it's true. Every day's a school day. I didn't know that. None of that. So we all getting schooled. We're getting a good old history lesson here.
King Edward the Elder was Athelstan's dad, and King Alfred his granddad. There you go. Woo. Sorry, British. You aren't working Friday night, are you?
Yeah, I am working Friday, but I'll be home for the game though.
Good man.
What
Good
time?
man.
Sorry, I know this is sacrilegious, but what time? What
8
time is
o'clock.
kickoff?
8 o'clock.
Is it okay?
I'm with my mate Ian Gardner. So if he's watching the show, and he is a passionate Glaswegian, he's got the extra I in his name, Ian. He's genuine Scotsman. So I'm watching the game with him Friday night.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
President, you'll be there. You'll be settled in with a beer, relaxed, ready for the game.
Of course, 100%.
Good man. Canners, yeah. You watching it?
Yeah, we'll be. It's just a shame, we're not able to get out and properly watch it with a packed, bar or something. And I love. See, this is super set up for I don't know, obviously, pre-COVID, Friday night in the city, after work. It's just a tournament football in the city, watching it on a big screen in a bar.
Yeah.
That's what Friday night's tournament football is about, and this would have been the perfect night for it.
Yeah.
I'm so sad and upset that I'm not in the city to see this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I live in E1, so stroll in.
Also,
one of the worst nights of my life watching City lose to Spurs in the Champions League quarters. Was it quarters? Yeah. In a bar in Mayfair, and then having to get home through the environmental protesters. It was one of the worst nights of my life. So, but Munsey writing in here, Mumsy, we need to start Shaw and Grealish, then we'll beat them easily. Should we? Should we tinker with it? I think Grealish had another bit of a knock. Should we? I don't know.
I wouldn't be sure. He's just coming from injury.
Yeah. Or should we?
Why change it? Why change it? Why change it? We won a game. I just don't think why change it for changing sake, unless the reason why Shaw didn't start or Chilwell didn't start because they had injuries. Why change it? Grealish don't need to come in. We've got enough at top really to cause Scotland problems.
Dean Webb reckons that Kane will take him on his own, get a hat trick, and someone will get a Gaza moment. He could be wrong. It could depend. The temperature will be much lower. It could be the sort of game that Harry Kane does, really set about the world stage. It could be. I mean, as a City fan, I'd kind of like him at the Etihad, and if he scores a hat trick, then it'll be well over £1 million for his money. So it might be going to Chelsea after all. But so I'm in two minds. I want Kane to win because I'm passionate about England, but at the same time, every goal he scores will put another 10 million on his value.
Yeah, I actually think you guys will get Kane and Chelsea will get Haaland.
I'd rather it was the other way around. I'd so rather the other way around because Haaland is moldable and Pep likes little lads who do as they're told, not guys with a bit of a not an attitude, not the wrong thing, but own beliefs. He doesn't do too well with players who have their own beliefs. He'd rather.
Well, to be fair, right now Kane's a big fish in a little pond. He's going to go to he'll be a fish in a huge pond.
Okay, we've got RC Bain, Chelsea fan. Well, I've only one thing to say to you. Yeah, right. Get over yourself. And he's back up again. Sorry, just been busy the last few days, so didn't get a chance to visit. It's okay, we didn't miss you. No, joking. What else we got? Start the same team from Mr. B. Oh, we're all joined here. Yeah. And Dean Webb saying, no way Kane's staying at Spurs. Yeah. Well, perhaps not. Perhaps not, but I wonder whether he'll go to Chelsea. I'm not sure.
No, he wouldn't go Chelsea. He'll either go City or go abroad, in my opinion.
Yeah, Chelsea seem to have billy bundles of cash. Some of it they've really earned, and with some wise transfer decisions, but also winning the Champions League. So I think they've got a bundle to spend. To be fair, the players they've been linked with are very sensible players. There's no wild men in there. So you think comfortable win? How far can we go in the tournament?
Second round.
What? Last
Listen,
16?
the game against France and Germany, I'm not sure we would cause any of those teams. Maybe the Germans, yeah.
I think we can beat Germany. I'm not sure about France at all, but they're bloody good. I think Belgium, France, and Belgium and France, I think, would beat England. But I think England can give Germany and Portugal a bloody good game.
Well, that's the thing. I can't see us beating Portugal or France if we get them in the next round, because obviously if we win the group, we get the second place of that group. That will go all the way.
So we could get Portugal.
Could get Portugal, could get Germany, could get France.
We don't want France. We really don't want France. So ideally we need to win the group. And
none of those teams we've got a good history against in tournament football. None of those teams.
Yeah, well, we didn't against Croatia, but we've nailed that one. But so hopefully if France win the group, then it's Germany or Portugal, and I think England could give them a good game. It deserves to be a semi, that, not a bloody last 16, though, doesn't it? Because you could things like Russia and Wales making the last 16. You'd rather take them on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think such as the draws kind of set, we will get the winners or the losers. Sorry, the losers, depending on, obviously, our next opponent comes from that group of death. So unless Hungary come up with something absolutely astounding.
Well, bit of a message. Pyro's density, good name. I don't believe that midfield. Well, I think we've got to roll with it. I think we've got to stick with it there. Mr. B, better chance against Portugal. Yep, I agree. I don't fancy the French at all. I think they'll give us a bit of a hiding. Yeah. RC Payne, Chelsea fan, for a sense of humour. Yes, we'd take Haaland though I'd pick Kane. Oh, good. I'd be happy if you get Kane and Haaland goes to City. I'd take that. And Dean Webb, Germany are made for us at the minute. It's a very interesting thought of comment. When Chelsea beat Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League, I was kind of disappointed because I thought Real Madrid, it would have been really not just poetic of the great champions against the new champions, the City winning it in style, but I actually thought they were there for the taking. And it's that kind of slightly aging midfield of Kroos and Modric that, some youth and pace running at them could crumble. And I think Germany are in the same boat. I think Kano, didn't start, but Kroos. Hummels looked like a sack of spuds at the back.
Yeah, but I still think there's still a team in there. And listen, they only lost to France by our own goal. Listen, they're dangerous up top. Look at Gnabry, Sané, Kimmich on the right. Yeah, now in the midfield, it's still got Kroos pulling the strings. They were a very decent team, and we will do well. Really, we should have want to avoid Germany, in my opinion.
Well, we might not have any choice, but I'd rather them than France. Don't you think, Brezzy?
Yeah, I would want to stay pretty much clear of France until the final.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because that last 16, there will be some supposedly other nations getting through there. So maybe Russia, Wales.
Yeah, definitely.
Take Russia in the quarters and then get a Macedonia or something like that in the semis.
Macedonia in the semis. I think not. I think they may struggle to make that last 16. But anyway, it's coming home, maybe. Yeah? Last words?
Okay.
Last thoughts? either?
Yeah. Listen, we'll win on Friday, no doubt. We'll cement our lead at the top of the group. We'll win. It's then after that. That's when really the tournament starts. Because then what will happen? You keep, I think, the tournament starts after we get the 6 points. We've made it through. Then we've got to look forward to see who we're going to get in the second round, because that's when it really begins, and that's when we can't even think about messing about.
Okay, Prezi.
Yeah, we just need to get the job done, get the points, and secure our place into the next round, and to go from there.
Good. Any last messages? Good old Athelsson, Edwardson. Germany look cack. It's a good old phrase, that, isn't it? We can beat Germany. Yeah, I think France and Italy look the business. Belgium too. I'm with him.
Could you imagine that as a semi-final? Belgium, England, France, and Italy. Could that happen? That would be a heck of a semi, isn't it?
Yeah. Whoever wins the European Championships this time will have done really well. There's 4 or 5 really good teams.
You got Portugal. You can never rule out Portugal as well.
Pyro Density says that French team is scary. I agree. I mean, and Kanté is in the form of his life. It's like a championship manager team after 7 years.
Yeah. It's like that FM21 teams.
Portugal were tough to beat too. Yeah, I agree. And boys, we all support different teams. England will grow as it goes on. I think he's right. I think he's right. And I don't know. We desperately need a good European feel-good factor. Let's just leave it on the thought that this is our first year outside of Europe since when I was a kid and we voted into Europe. Is there something significant in that? I'm going to leave that little thought. The first time we might win the European Championships is when we're not officially in Europe. Hey! Right. Have a good time. Enjoy your show. Take care, chaps. Away the Arsenal.
Cheers, Ian.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.